Okay, let's have a look. We have a letter here. This is from OET Premium. Now, as I've mentioned before, I don't usually work from photographs. I like it in text, so I can add comments and make changes, etc. But I'll have to make an exception here, so I'll just have to tell you, and you can make the changes yourself. Okay, let's get this going. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. First things first, don't need the period after Mr., Mrs., or Ms. I've told you all 1,000 times, you don't need it. Don't use it. Only for stuff like captain or superintendent. 81 years old. Don't forget years. I'm writing to update you regarding no period, Miss Johnson, who's being discharged today into your care after recovery from right total knee replacement due to osteoarthritis. Well, okay. I mean, so you're writing to the GP, so they know what it's due to, so you don't need to be so long-winded about it. Your further follow-up care would be highly appreciated. Why do I keep seeing this useless sentence? Highly. Why highly, and appreciated by whom? If anybody can send me an official OET sample letter with this phrase in, I'll give you a prize. Because you won't find one, and there's a reason why. You don't need it. Don't use it. Simply tell me your purpose. I'm writing to update you regarding Miss Johnson, who is being discharged today. You don't need to do into your care, who is being discharged today after her right total knee replacement. And that's it. Concise. If you take a look at the criteria, it keeps saying concise, clear, simple, brief, short. So this is a little bit long. We don't really need all of this. Initially. Why initially? Now, you use this when you're talking about a series of visits, but there's not a series of visits. Miss Johnson came to hospital and had an operation, and there she stayed and presumably is still until she's discharged. So there is no initially. So simply mention the date. So Miss Thompson, no period. Miss Thompson's vital signs were stable. So is this presumably post-operation? So why don't you say something like, the surgery was performed on the 25th at 2nd, blah, 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 blah. Following which, post-operatively, Miss Thompson's vital signs were stable. However, her pathology was blah, 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 blah. Or something such as that. So we don't need initially, just the date. Don't need the period. However, his. Now, why is it his? You've got she, his, her. Why? Don't mix your pronouns. It's a very easy, obvious mistake. So his, her, miss. It's a woman. So what's your pronouns? It's far too simple a mistake to make. Well, the signs were stable. His pathology report revealed 80 grams HB, which was corrected by IVT transfusion. You can put an article because you can count a transfusion. Transfusion is countable. Moreover, don't use these academic essay markers. Furthermore, therefore, moreover, you're not writing an essay, you're writing a letter. Her pain was well controlled by self-administration of morphine and paracetamol. She was given blah, 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 on 4 consecutive days. Okay. What's the next one? Then. When? Then? We don't need that. Miss Johnson's wound was healthy and her mobility was improving. So, during hospitalization, Miss Johnson's wound was healing and her mobility was improving. Instead of then, simply say during hospitalization or post-operatively during her recuperation period or something such as that. All her investigations. Is she a private detective? Is she a police officer? Then she's not investigating anything. Is she? And it's not investigations. You investigate when you're unsure about something, like a condition. So a patient comes to see you and you're not sure what it could be, so you investigate, but she's not investigating anything here. You know what she's got. All that you're doing is testing her. All investigations were unremarkable, then why tell me? Oh, and by the way, there was absolutely nothing wrong. Well, why tell me that? Except for INR, spell out your abbreviations, which was marked high. Why was it marked? Why wasn't it? It's simply high. Furthermore, you're not writing an essay. Alt clips were removed. Her alt clips were removed on the last day at hospital, last day of hospitalization, and she was transferred to a rehab center. Then on the 8th day, if it's ordinal, the first, the second, the third, fourth, the 8th, you need a definite article. On the 8th day of her stay of her rehabilitation, but what? Then on 8th day of rehab center. What, you mean her 8th day of her stay in rehab? Not the same thing. And INR was arranged again, which showed a higher value than previously. Hence, there is no hence. Warfare in dose, hence, the warfare in dose, her warfare in dose was decreased to, right. The reason I keep saying this is you're supposed to write grammatically complete sentences. That means pronouns, articles, right? Not just simply nouns. Okay. Today, Miss Johnson has been discharged with home nursing support for regular activities with no cardiac. Now, how is that connected in any way? You've got two completely different things in the same sentence. So today, Miss Johnson has been discharged with home nursing support for her regular daily activities with no cardiac abnormality. So how is that connected? How is that connected to home support for regular daily activities? It isn't. So it needs to be in a separate sentence. Discharge medication includes warfarin, thermotab, blah, blah, blah. Please note a review of rehab has been arranged in 2 weeks, or has been arranged for 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, that doesn't really fit, that cardiac thing there. Doesn't fit at all. I'd like to be above it, would be greatly appreciated. Haven't you already highly appreciated? So what? So you highly appreciate. You don't need to be kissing ass. Highly, greatly. Healthcare professionals do their job. Okay, you can say please and thank you, but you don't have to highly, greatly. Why all the adverbs? You don't need it. And you have basically said it once anyway. If you could repeat FBF and INR and take further steps accordingly, what further steps? So, right, you're supposed to reiterate your purpose in the closing, right? Take a look at the criteria. Well, have I got it? I'll show you quickly if I can be bothered. Let's have a look. It's opening, come on. Right. Where's my pen? The purpose should be introduced early and clearly expanded on later, often near the end of the document. So at the end, restate what it is you want the reader to do. Okay, so that's what you need. Make sure it's clear. In light of the above, I would appreciate it if you could take care of, if you would do this, if you would do that, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, not too bad. Just a few things you could maybe work on. But watch those pronouns. That's an obvious, easy mistake. Far too easy. You shouldn't be confusing his, her, she, him, etc. You shouldn't. That's far too simple a mistake. to make, and you're not writing an essay, moreover, furthermore, thus, hence. Don't need them. That's not what people write in a letter. Okay, hope that helps.